What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run It Up Podcast. I'm your host, Najee Adams. You know, I got my guy with me today, Jalaal Sandy. How you doing? Back-to-back weeks. We here. What's up?
That
I
shit
banged this
banging on the
shit.
table. It's just it sound like the Hulk is coming, my boy. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Mourning a little bit over the wild card loss, but we here, man, and we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we shall
Show
talk
up
about
anyway.
it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Make sure you guys subscribe to Run It Up Podcast everywhere that podcasts are found. Leave a 5-star rating and review, Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you listen to your podcast. All the good stuff you do for any podcast you listen to, do it for us. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok. Everything's in the description. Most of our stuff is at Run It Up Pod or the Run It Up Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at NajAdams_, Jalaal at J.Sandy_ on Instagram. And now all that is out the way, we can get to Song of the Week. But before we do that, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to talk about. It's going to be pretty much full NFL pod. We're going to go through our reactions to the wild card weekend games, talk about some of the teams that got eliminated, then go and give our predictions for the divisional. There's a bunch of head coach openings, so kind of talk through our top 5 head coach openings. And then we'll probably get up out of here, to be honest. We might talk a little bit of NBA at the very end, depending on how long we go. But for the most part, full NFL pod. So lock in and ride with us before we get into it. Song of the week. You kick it off. What's your song of the week, bro?
I was looking for it. I think I found it. My song of the week. I think I've given a Joey Badass song recently. I'm gonna give another one. It's called Swank White by Joey Badass and Westside Gunn.
Swank White. Okay. I always write them down because I forget them. So Swank White by Joey Badass. Alrighty. Mine's is a little bit out of left field. I don't even know when the song came out. I feel like it's old, but I had never heard it before. It's by Zach Bryan. By Zach Bryan, and it's called Heading South. And the only reason that I listen to it is because it is in a Josh Allen edit. It's not even an edit, it's like a news, like a Sports Center like video that somebody made for him pre-Jaguars game. And it's about how like history doesn't remember effort, they just remember who finished the job. And it's like a 4-minute video about like how he's going to the Jags to complete this quest of winning a Super Bowl, and that's the song in the back. And I'm like, damn, this shit is hard. So I went to go listen to it, and the song is kind of good. So I was like, all right, that'll be my song of the week. And I've been bumping it a little bit lately.
You know who I'm surprised you haven't? I don't even know if you listen to her, but she's like blowing up. OD now, Olivia Dean. Like mad people listen to her. I don't know if you've ever listened to her.
I don't think I ever have listened to her. Yeah. I don't know. What's her most popular song?
Couple minutes, I think. Probably.
I probably have heard it.
You've definitely heard. If you be on TikTok quite a bit, so
yeah,
you probably heard it. But she's another fucking UK artist just cooking.
Yeah.
And she's going on tour soon, so. Yeah, blowing up at the right time, man. Like R&B/soul is kind of taking the reins recently. I fucks with that.
Yeah, I think Zach Bryan's like country kind of. It's like yeah. And I don't really listen to a lot of country music, so I was shocked that I liked it. But it was a decent song. It's not even decent. It's a good song. But yeah, so we can dive into our wild card weekend reactions if we want to start with. I mean, do you want to start with the pain, or do you want to get to that later? I'll leave it up to you.
We could just go in order of the way the games went. Let's do
I don't even know what the fuck the order was. Hold on, I got you.
Rams Panthers was first.
I bet. So we got Rams Panthers. Oh yeah, Rams Panthers, and then you guys were second. Yeah, I remember now. All right, Rams Panthers. What'd you think of this game? I mean, for me, it kind of felt.
Good game.
I was rooting for the Panthers, obviously.
I was too.
I was rooting for the Panthers.
So. I should have went to the damn game.
Yeah. So what'd you think? What'd you think of this one?
It was a good game. I think last year I said I expected it to be like kind of a dogfight, like a little bit slower, lower scoring, and then the Rams kind of pull away at the end, which is not exactly what happened. The Rams came out established the tone pretty early. Puka had 2 touchdowns in the first half, dropped the third one. And Panthers are really struggling. And I think in the playoffs, you kind of figure out what kind of team you have. And they made a play in the third quarter on special teams, blocked a punt, and that kind of flipped the game around. They got some momentum. Jalen Coker had the best game of his career. Bryce Young looks like he's going to get another year in Carolina, which is cool. But, I mean, it ended the way we expected with Matthew Stafford icing the game or just putting the game away when it needed to be done. Devontae Adams made some big catches down the stretch. I can't remember who made the game-winning touchdown catch. I just know it was one of the tight ends because they got like 5 of them. I want to say it was Colby Parkinson.
It was Colby Parkinson, yeah.
That was a great catch too, because I mean, if you're the defender in that situation, there's no better way to guard it. You're just not as big as Colby Parkinson, and the throw was as good as it could have been. And I thought Bryce Young played pretty well. They couldn't run the ball at all, so for them to have their run game taken away and him to still make an effort out of what I would call their offense pretty mediocre. But Ted played well. Jalen Coker played well. That's about it.
Chuba Hubbard was all right.
He was okay. Yeah. Rico Dowdle said after the game that like he doesn't understand why his touches went down, and I get that because he came in and kind of
they gave Chuba Hubbard some money, boy. So
no, I understand that, but he came in. Chuba got hurt, and then they needed somebody to step up, and his contributions kind of flipped their season around. Like those 2-3 performances he had, in the middle of the season against, I think it was the Dolphins and the Cowboys, like that flipped their season around. So I get his perspective of like, damn, I don't know like why my touches went down when I'm kind of the reason y'all here. Because I mean, even they played the Packers middle of the season, and he ran for 100 yards on them, and in Lambeau. So like that's tough. He probably won't be back there next year. No. Plus they got Jonathan
Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks coming back from his second ACL injury, so we'll see how that goes.
And they used a first round pick on him, so they're gonna see what they got.
Yeah. Overall, like it was a good game. It was a competitive game. Ultimately, the Panthers didn't have enough, but I like what I saw from them to like going forward. I think they'll be competing in the future. Like I think next season we'll see the Bucs probably decline a little more. The Saints fully embrace their rebuild, and then I think the Falcons and the Panthers probably duke it out for the division.
Yeah, I think for me, I actually think the Saints are a little bit close. Like if Tyler Shuck is who he looks like the Saints are closer than I think I'd like to that we thought they were at least coming into the season.
They don't have money though. Like
they don't have money. They don't have weapons.
They don't have. Do they have draft picks? I don't even know if they have draft picks like that.
I think they have like a chest of picks. Like I don't think they have anything extra. Like they have to hit on all their picks. Yeah.
There was a point where they didn't have their first round picks for a few years because they were making trades trying to keep up with Drew Brees' career. So now it's them trying to make up for all of that and eating dead contracts, and they still got Alvin Kamara on their team, which hopefully, I don't know, but.
I mean, he made it tough when he was like, "Hey, if you can tell me somewhere, I'm not playing." You know, at that point, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the Panthers, I was obviously rooting for the Rams. This is a game that, although the Panthers took the lead late, like I never really felt like the Rams were gonna lose. Like I just couldn't see that happening. But like for me, I think this is a successful season for the Panthers. Like I don't want them to get ahead of themselves. Like that's what I think bad franchises
don't do what the Commanders do what the Commanders did this past offseason, please.
Yeah, like that is what bad franchises do. Like they get a little bit of success that they probably got a little bit lucky achieving in the first place, and then they think that they're way closer than they are. And so like worst case scenario, like the Panthers do something stupid like trade a first for AJ Brown or Max Crosby or something like that. You know, like I think that like this is year one of your 3-year window, let's say. Like continue building, get a solid roster, insulate your team around Bryce Young, figure out if he's actually your guy, And then like we can go from there. And once we get to a place where like eventually Bryce Young's gonna have to be paid, if that is your guy, we can see what we've got. But to go out this summer and be like, you know what? We want AJ Brown. We want Max Crosby. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Please.
nah, don't do that. But here's the thing, like Bryce Young, like we've been patient with Bryce, but at some point Bryce is gonna have to be the guy to. He makes winning plays, but sometimes he's gonna have to be the guy that just puts you on his back. Like he's done that maybe once or twice in his career so far in games, but like he's gonna have to reach a level where it's consistent, where you know, hey, if our defense gives up a touchdown, we got Bryce. Mm-hmm. We got a minute left and 2 timeouts. We good. We got Bryce. He hasn't reached that point yet, but I think, you know, if Dave Canales stops calling fucking flea flickers in the red zone, I think they'll be all right. And you know, the Xavier Legette pick didn't work out. I think he's just not a good football player, and I don't know why they picked him in the first round. But Ted is good. Jalen Coker is good. I like Jatavion Sanders. I like Jimmy Horn Jr., but I think they need another receiver. And their defense is young, like J.C. Horn and Derek Brown and Mike Jackson and Trayvon Moehrig. Like they've got some guys. They need linebackers though. So I would say like going into the offseason for them, probably focus on getting linebackers. They got a few picks they can use. Or do the Bears have those picks still? No. I don't know.
No, I think they got I think the last thing. Yeah, I think the last part of that Bryce trade was Luther Burden.
Last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean it's that's good for the Panthers. I don't like that they made the playoffs kind of because that means their ticket's gonna go up. I was trying to go to a game next year, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. And then next up we have the next game on the slate was Packers Bears. Bears win 31-27. Packers blow a 21-3 lead. I guess I'm gonna clear out. My question for you is: 1, how do you feel? 2, is Matt LaFleur's time done in Green Bay? 3 NFC North titles, 76-40-1 record, 3-6 playoff record, blew the lead to the Bears. Is it time to move on? Go ahead, brother. I'll let you vent. Talk to me.
I don't even know where to start, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'll just talk about the game first. Going into the game, I thought it would be. I was hoping it wasn't a repeat script of the last 2 games that they played the Bears. You know, they get out to a fast start in the first half, or like a convincing start where it's like, yeah, this Packers team is better than the Bears. Like we knew this. You know, confirming our priors essentially. And of course, they come out, and I mean, like running. You know, they're running the ball well. And I think when you play the Bears, what's tough is that their style of play is so high variance. Like someone kind of compared it to like when the NBA started taking more 3s over 2s, to where like the Bears just have so many explosive plays that a lot of the shit that they mess up on doesn't matter in the end because they have so many explosive plays. But none of that was working in the first half. Like Ben Johnson went for it 4th and I think 6 in his own territory at one point, and I was like, not a great decision. And you could tell like he was genuinely being outcoached. Jordan Love had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Romeo Doubs had a touchdown. Jaden Reed had a touchdown. And Christian Watson had a touchdown. So I'm like, hey, that's the fucking trifecta right there. Like that's your top 3 receivers. Like, okay. And but it didn't feel to me like, because of my trauma and my past experiences with this team, it didn't feel like we were like, it felt like we were in control, but it didn't feel like it was over. I knew, and I had a feeling it wasn't over because I had my cousin over for the game, and he was like, oh, y'all up 21-3, like this shit over. And right when he said that, Brandon McManus missed a kick, and I said, it was like a little tickle down my spine. I was like, I don't know. I was like, so then in the third quarter, he was about to leave. And I was like, nah, bro, I don't think you want to leave. Because we hadn't scored the whole damn third quarter. Like, and I think my biggest question coming in from halftime to the third quarter, like clearly the Bears adjusted. The defense was more aggressive. They had more urgency. And it was like, why did we come out and think the same shit that we did in the first half would just work in the second half? Like, this is Madden. Oh, I've been running inside zone all day. They can't stop it. Nah, that's not how it works. Clearly, you should expect adjustments and adjust to the adjustments. But they couldn't run the ball at all in the second half. I think Jordan Love made one probably decision. I've watched all 22 clips. I've watched different camera angles of different like scenarios in the third quarter, and like he had what it really was is they were just getting their ass bust up front. So like, but even with all of that, you go into the fourth quarter, the score's 21-6. Cool, you know. And I think they hit another field goal, so it's 21-9. And I'm like, we still good. And I think deep down inside, when I saw Josh Jacobs returning kicks, I said,
"Oh, we're cooked."
"Oh no, we're done." Because putting somebody like that when your special teams it screams desperation. Like it means you're scared, and the Bears are not scared of shit. They don't give a fuck about anything. They don't care who you are. First of all, they hate you. And I don't know why we don't realize that. I'll get to that in a second, like towards the end when I finish. But like, so now we're reeling, like we're retreating.
And then Josh Jacobs fumbles.
And then Josh Jacobs fumbles. And thankfully we jumped on it. And it was like, it wasn't a thing. Like I felt like the first two games, it was the Bears got some turnover luck and they were able to capitalize on that. But they've been doing that all year. This game, we forced 2 turnovers and we had 3 fumbles that all got recovered. There was like a screen pass to an O-lineman, which I liked that. That was kind of cool. But he fumbled. Christian Watson fumbled trying to be Superman in the end zone. Thank God Romeo Doubs jumped on that. And then Josh Jacobs jumps on a ball on the kick return or fumbles the ball on the kick return. So I'm like, bro, we're not like we're doing everything in our power to lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
So then we drive down. Oh no, the Bears get the ball back. 4th and fucking 8. Maybe the best throw of the season. Caleb Williams running out to his left. A jump throw. I didn't even realize it was a jump throw at the time. Like I saw it on the replay. I was like, yo, there's no way. And to me, it felt like shit I used to watch Aaron Rodgers do. And it felt like it was being done to me. I said, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, I don't think we're winning this game. So, but then they come down and they score a touchdown. Matthew Golden has the best game of his young career. Takes a screenplay, maybe 25 yards, but makes a bunch of dudes miss, hurdles another guy. Like, where has this been all season? Why hasn't he been on the field? So cool. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, like that might be the game right there. Oh, wait, I missed something. Oh, we drove down before that. Like, that was the thing. I felt like in the fourth quarter, the ball was moving and we were getting down the field. And then it's time to kick the ball. And Brandon McManus can't fucking kick. He missed a field goal. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then we come down, score a touchdown. You missed the extra point, brother. You done left 7 points on the board. So now I'm like, okay. So instead of being down, or instead of being up 12, we're up 11. Not great. They come down, score pretty fast. And then, yeah. Oh, I flipped them. Sorry. We scored the touchdown, then missed the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get the ball back and scored again. And I'm like, well, that's all I'm like, this shit is over. But what's crazy is, and here's, I'll say it, but these are the things I take away from this game. One, Jordan Love is the guy for this team. To me, he solidified himself as a top 10 quarterback in that game. And I'm talking about like, and this is not me being biased. Like there were times there was a third and 12 through a dime to Romeo Doubs. There was a 4th and 8, like 4th and gotta have it on the last drive. Dime to Matthew Golden. Throws another dime to Jaden Reed that he fucking dropped. And he was wide open. And then I don't know if you've seen this clip. There was a pass he threw to Christian Watson up the middle.
The T people was comparing it to the T shit, right?
Yeah. And Christian Watson said, yeah, I kind of slowed up on the turn because I didn't think he was gonna throw it there. But I'm like, bro, it's the fucking playoffs. Like, you just gotta go play. Like, fuck what happens. And if you get hit, you get hit. And like, look, we gonna apologize later. You're gonna be all right. You a 6'5" receiver, bro. You gonna be good. But if Christian Watson catches that pass, they win the game. And then they have no timeouts. They lose their center halfway through or towards the end of the drive. And at that point, I was like, this is over. Like, this is as bad as it can be. So yeah, the three takeaways for me is Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback. I'm not having any discussions or conversations about it. He did his job. He didn't turn the ball over at all. 300 plus yards, 4 touchdowns to every single one of his receivers. And even through struggling the last drive of the game, he got them down the field. He made the throws he needed to make, and it just wasn't enough. And that's kind of the microcosm of the entire season. Like, they just don't have enough. They didn't have enough bodies. Obviously Micah Parsons is out. Tucker Kraft is out. Zach Tom was out. Elton Jenkins has been out half the season. And then Edgerrin Cooper goes out midway through the game in the third quarter. So those are 4 of their best players right there. 4 or 5 of their best players right there. 2, something's got to change, bro. And like, after the game, I was like, LaFleur it's got to be LaFleur. It has to be LaFleur. He's got to go. Like, this is coaching. But after the game, Matt LaFleur came out and said, like, yeah, we just weren't blocking our assignments. Like, it wasn't. He's like, I didn't change anything. We just got our ass whooped. And I'm like, so we're soft, which is what I've been
also
saying.
whose point? Like, whose job is it to make them not soft? It's his.
It's, right. But here's the thing. Like, I've been listening to shows and different people's opinions since that game happened. Excuse me. And someone brought up a good point. Like, a lot of offensive coaches have a guy that's like, hey, maybe we should do something else here. Like, maybe, remember, like, you know, that play that we ran in practice that's been working all week? Like, maybe we should do that now. Or like, maybe we shouldn't keep running RPOs after we just, like, maybe we should abandon the run because the run's not working. And like, I like Matt LaFleur. He's a really good coach. If we fired him, he'd be the top coach on the market, most likely.
Easily.
He's a really good coach. I just think he gets in his own way a lot of the times. And I really do think that he needs somebody to collaborate with on the offensive side of the ball. Like, when we had Aaron Rodgers and it was him and Nathaniel Hackett working out, that was the most seamless offense I've ever seen outside of like early Aaron Rodgers, prime Aaron Rodgers. But like, I think that, like, they need a culture change. Like, we're too nice. I watched Ben Johnson walk in the locker room and say, fuck the Packers. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. Like, that's the type, like, and that's cool. I love that. And I love that this rivalry is finally something that I can look forward to every year. It's usually just us whooping their ass. And now it's like, hey, we here now. Like, we ain't the little brothers no more. Cool. All right, bet.
They was talking hot after the game. He said fuck the Packers. Then the next day he said, like, I don't like that team. Caleb was like, they wanted us, they got us. That kind of shit. I'm like, they on the broadcast.
Let's stop that. We wanted each other. We wanted each other. It's not like we wanted them and they were like, okay, nah, we wanted each other. We know what it is. But yeah, they're like we need some nasty guys like on the raw, like some dudes that know how to set the tone. Like, and I think Micah is that. Micah don't give a damn about like if people like him or like if he's not a dirty player, but he knows how to set a tone. I think we need more, like, again, we're the youngest team in the league. We need probably some vets to come in there and muck some shit up, because I feel like everybody's just like been around the same group of guys all like their whole career. This is the same team or the same core since 2023. So like
some vet shit. Like, say what you want about Stephon Diggs. I do think that he played a big role in like changing the culture in New England. Mike Vrabel's first year. Like, every video I see of him is like him leading. Like, he is a leader of men in that locker
room. He's a vet. Yeah, and he's, I mean, they've got some guys on defense that are vets too. Yeah. But like we don't really like, our vet is Micah Parsons and Jordan Love. We don't have no old guys.
26-year-old Micah Parsons.
Yeah, like it's Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, and Jordan and Josh Jacobs. Yeah. Everybody's under 30. Yeah. We need somebody that's like 31, 32 to be like, hey, I lost in the Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes. Let me tell you what we got to do here to close this game. Or like, yeah, like just something's got to change, man.
Yeah.
Because if your rival organization realizes that there's a critical flaw in the way that y'all operate, that's not good. Because then all the Bears did was take on like a sub identity of the Lions. Like the Lions are kind of like that too, in a way. Like Dan Campbell's real hard nose, straight to the point, and Ben Johnson kind of adopted that and took that to the Bears. So like eventually everybody's gonna be like that, and we're gonna be like, we're the Packers, and we have 13 world championships, and no, fuck that. Like I'm sure Curly Lambeau and Vince Lombardi were not fucking like, oh yeah, we love our opponent. They was probably kicking dudes in the mouth and punching people in the nuts and shit. Like, bro, what is this? Yeah. We got like some shit's got to change and quick, because there's a window here, and this is why I would say at first I was like, it should be LaFleur, but then I thought about it and I'm like, we fire LaFleur, there's not much better out there. You would have to make some shit shake to where.
But you're bringing in Hardball,
and he's worse. It's more. That's more of the same to me. Like that's, and it might be even worse. Like you would have to make Brian Flores your head coach and try to get Mike McDaniel to come and be your OC. And no. Like you'll probably lose Jeff Hafley anyway, because it sounds like he's going to be a head coach. So I would say, I don't know what it's looking like right now, because they said on Monday that they were going to talk about an extension, and it's fucking Wednesday and nothing has come out. So I think they're at some sort of crossroad in terms of an extension. But I mean, I feel like he deserves to prove himself. Like this was bad. This was really, really bad. Mm-hmm. This is as bad as it gets. And I think he deserves to at least get a chance with the window of the guys that he has. Like this Jordan Love, Micah Parsons window, he deserves to see this out at least for like the next year or two. And if you give him an extension and it doesn't work out, you can always be like, okay, well, we're just going to fire you.
Yeah. I think it's tough because I think LaFleur in contract negotiations, I do think he has the leverage, because it's like he hasn't been bad, right? Like he walks in the room, he says, listen, we've won 76 games, 40 losses, 1 tie. We've won the North 3 times. Like, and also, if you fire me, tell me who you're going to hire that's better. And the Packers are like, well, you haven't really won shit of value, so we don't really know how much we are willing to give you. And his response is going to be, okay, show me someone else who's better, because if you fire me, I'm going to be a head coach next year regardless. So like it's tough.
And I think to counter that, the front office will say, hey, since we lost our Hall of Fame quarterback, you've been kind of mid, buddy. So with Aaron Rodgers, because I had to look this up just to make sure I was accurate. With Aaron Rodgers from 2019 to 2022, in the regular season, they were 39-10. I believe they had 2 1 seeds, and they went to back-to-back NFC Championship games with a playoff record of 2-3. And they had 3 straight 13-win seasons. Since Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets, the Packers are 29-21, 29-21-1. Well, I would say, was that 29-22-1 now. And you've been the 7 seed 3 straight years, and you've lost in the first round 2 straight years. And this past season has been a continuous blowing of leads. Like, hold on, I gotta look at the tweet. But you could say what you gotta say, because there was a tweet out there about like how many leads that the Packers have, double-digit leads the Packers have blown this season.
Yeah, I think for me, I agree. I think something needs to change. If Hafley gets a job, he's obviously going to have to make another hire at DC. And I think that'll be quite the job as well. Because
I would say, I would say like call up Raheem Morris. I think him and Raheem Morris are friends. I wouldn't mind Raheem Morris as a DC.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a great head coach.
I think that's a great call. Yeah, Raheem Morris would be great. And honestly, I feel like the Packers is a good situation to like, because you have a talented defense. Like the Packers is a good situation to go in, continue to build on that good defense. And then in like 2 years, when the Packers continuously have top 5, top 10 defensive units, some team is going to be like, oh shit, let's give Raheem Morris a shot one more time. You know, like that's a good place to rebuild your like equity as a coach. Overall, I'm with you. I think something does need to change. I personally think LaFleur is a good coach. I think you guys should keep him. I think it's tough, and like you can have these conversations every year because like only one team wins, right? And it's like every team, every team, 31 teams are disappointed by the end of the year. 31 teams are like, fuck, is this guy good enough? And like everyone thought that about Nick Sirianni, and then
I think it's also like, yeah. I think it's also expectations, right? Yeah. Like when your organization has a certain level of expectations, when you have a standard that you got to uphold, like if you're not winning championships, it's not like if he was a Giants coach, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
You know, like if he was the Jets coach, he'd be fine. But like you coaching the Packers, and I feel like a lot of coaches want to coach for the Packers, especially now that they have like a solidified quarterback, a solidified defensive player, a couple defensive players. Like it's just like it's different when you're used to being successful. Like over the past 25, 30 years, the Packers have been one of the more successful franchises in sports. So like it's tough because like you don't want to not appreciate like where a coach has gotten you, but at the same time you gotta understand or keep upholding that standard that's been set before you. And I feel like LaFleur just got to figure something out, bro. Like you need to figure out why you can't close games, and you need to figure out why your game management or play calling when things get tight tends to be a little shaky. Like this isn't new. I remember when we played the Bucs in the NFC Championship game, and people wanted him to go for it, and he kicked the field goal, and the Packers never got the ball back. Why? Because you're facing fucking Tom Brady. And granted, that was like his second year coaching, or third year coaching. But like, those are the times where you're like, he'll learn from that. We're in year 7 now, and we're still having these same issues. So I think like I think there's validity to keeping him, and also validity to being like, let's see what's out there.
Yeah,
because I feel like if you wanted to bring in a veteran head coach, you definitely like. If you wanted to bring in Mike Tomlin, you could. If you wanted to bring in John Harbaugh, you probably could. But I would just say like keep him, let him figure this shit out. And I mean, it's funny because I saw a tweet yesterday that said somebody in this generation got to be Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning and like the guys that aren't like in GOAT conversations.
Yeah,
like everybody can't be Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Somebody got to be, somebody got to be like in the mid tier.
The tweet that I saw was that Matt LaFleur is the 5th coach ever to lose 2 playoff games he led by 7+ points at the start of the 4th quarter. And the others are Kyle Shanahan, who like has not won a Super Bowl, but like has been to a bunch of them. He just kept running into Mahomes and them. Andy Reid, who obviously turned into one of the GOAT coaches, Jim Mora and Jim Fassel. So, you know, it's a decent list, you know.
I don't want to compare him to Andy Reid either, but Andy Reid also had issues early in his career when he was with Philly with game management, and that was like his biggest crutch. I remember before Mahomes got there, like the Chiefs were playing the Patriots one time in the playoffs or like regular season. I can't really remember, but I just remember him calling a timeout when he didn't need it, and they were in the red zone and it was unnecessary. And that's like the biggest gripe on him. And it took him like legitimately 10 years to figure out how to not just fuck up his play calling and stuff like that. So it takes some time. But the tweet I wanted to say was that there were 5 games this season where the Packers led by double digits and did not win. They led by 10 in Cleveland in the 4th quarter. I think that was week 3.
I remember that game.
They did not win that game. They led by 13 in Dallas. That game ended up being a tie. They led by 9 in Denver before Michael Parsons got hurt, and they lost that game. They led by 10 in Chicago the first time, and they lost that game. And then this past time they were up 18 and they lost that game. So that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like it's just it's up to
pain. It's pain,
yeah.
pain.
But this is nothing new to me, brother. It's nothing new to me. You know that.
Yeah.
My cousin asked me if it's worse than the Seahawks shit. I was like, not like at the core of it, but given the no. Because that was to go to the Super Bowl.
That was not to go to the Super Bowl. That was to win the Super Bowl.
No. Our game, the Seahawks Packers.
Is it worse than like the Malcolm Butler shit for whatever reason?
Oh no.
Oh,
he was saying is that NFC chip game worse or is this game worse than NFC chip? I'm like, because
no shot. Yeah.
Nah, because that team, I felt like if that team got to the Super Bowl, they were gonna win the Super Bowl. This just felt bad because you come in cold, you come in banged up, and everybody looks healthy when you get in. You literally do everything that you needed to do in the game and somehow still end up losing.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take anything away from the Bears because I felt like a lot of credit should be given to the way that they came out in the second half and adjusted. Like their defense came out with their hair on fire. Credit to Dennis Allen for making his adjustments. That they whooped our ass up front. Like the pass rush just got after it and it kind of just bled through the team. And Caleb made some unbelievable throws. Colston Loveland had a great game.
Yeah.
And then at the point where like Chicago had all the momentum, it was Ben Johnson time. He drew up a great play, like a fake screen
to Luther Burden,
to get it to DJ Moore for basically the game-winning touchdown. So like they're a good team. I still like not buying into whatever this like magical run is, but I want to credit Ben Johnson for setting a culture and like making these guys believe that they can basically stay in any game that they play in. Like for you to constantly be down that much and just keep fighting just because what else do you have to lose? It's a credit to their testament to their coaching. Like they've set a culture and I respect it. I don't like it, but I respect it.
That's good.
And Ben Johnson looks likely the coach of the year. But we're gonna see them next year. It's all good. We're gonna see them next year. And they're gonna have a first place schedule too. So they're gonna they got a rude awakening. Yeah, they got a rude awakening coming their way.
The next game was Bills Jags. I think I picked the Bills, you picked the Jags. I picked the Bills for one reason and one reason only. His name is Joshua Patrick Allen, and I felt good about it. And as I watched the game, I felt damn good about it still. Josh Allen finishes with 273 passing yards, 3 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air. And he did that with a receiving core of Khalil Shakir, Brandon Cooks, Cookie Boy, Keon Coleman, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Tyrell Shavers, who tore his ACL, Gabe Davis, who also tore his ACL. And so Josh Allen pretty much did that with that group of receivers. And I mean, we'll talk more about the Bills when we get to Bills Broncos. But yeah, bro, I think for me, I didn't expect anything different. Like the game on the line, Josh Allen pushes. He puts the team on his back. If it ain't Mahomes in front of him, I do not fear anybody. When it comes to the Bills playing them, I don't. Like it's just, even when we talk about the Broncos, spoiler alert, I'm taking the Bills because I just don't think, like, if he's going to stare Bo Nix down. He is going to look at Pat Surtain and he is going to fucking run through his mouth into the end zone like he does versus every team in the playoffs, not named the Chiefs. And so I just think that the Bills, say what you want. I hate that Josh's best year to win the Super Bowl aligns with the Seahawks' best year to win the Super Bowl, because any other year, like had this been last year, I would have been like, oh, Josh is winning the bowl. But now I can't say that because I truly believe we would piss on the Bills. So like I agree. I do. So like, I can't say he's gonna win the chip, but I'm riding with them up until that point. And if the Seahawks for some reason do get eliminated, I'm rolling with the Bills because I love me some Josh Allen. My thing with the Jags, my biggest question with them is like looking at the season now. Did they waste the Travis Hunter pick? Because like you draft Travis Hunter second overall, you trade your 26 first, which ended up being like a late first because they ended up being good. So shout out 13 wins. But then between Brian Thomas Jr., who had one of the best rookie seasons of any wide receiver ever, Parker Washington, who you cannot put that back in the box now, like he has to play, and then Jacoby Myers, who you trade for and extend, and Brenton Strange at tight end. Like if you're running 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver sets, Travis Hunter's not on the field. like your second overall pick is not who you gave up 2 firsts to get. It's just not on the field. And so now you've traded 2 firsts for a corner. And then 2 firsts for a corner who's playing 20 to 25 snaps on offense a game. And it's like, damn, was this worth it? Now, ultimately, and you won 13 games without him. So it's like, damn, could we have just kept the 5th pick and kept our 26 first and been cool? Granted, I think Travis Hunter is a really good player, and I think that he's going to be a good, whatever role they decide to play him in, I think he's going to elevate and succeed in it. So I ultimately don't think it's going to end up being this waste, but I do think it's a conversation to be like, damn, did the Browns actually fleece them? It's like the Browns did pretty good in that. They got an extra first. They picked up Mason Graham. Like they're probably going to have the defensive rookie of the year and Carson Schlesinger. Like the Browns made out pretty well. So and when after that, like going, like looking at that pick, I think everyone was like, damn, the Jags kind of fleeced them. And so I think what will end up happening is like BTJ was not drafted by this regime, you know, like Liam Cohen and James that's his name, right? James Gladstone, whatever it is.
Gladstone,
yeah. Their new GM did not draft Brian Thomas Jr. And so like if the like yips continue with him, he'll get up out of there. They're gonna get something good for BTJ. And so like realistically, their core moving forward, you'd like to think is like BTJ, Jacoby Myers, Travis Hunter. We'll see what Parker Washington ends up being. But yeah, ultimately, I don't think they wasted it, but we'll end up seeing. What was your thoughts on this game?
I kind of didn't catch it till about the middle of the second quarter. I did see Josh Allen was getting his ass like whooped and like physically getting his ass whooped. Yeah. So I mean, credit to him. I mean, he literally put the team on his back, and the defense made plays. Like that was my biggest difference. Like I didn't pick the Jaguars because I thought Josh Allen wouldn't show up. I picked the Jaguars because I thought the Bills defense just wouldn't make a play when they needed to, and they did at the end of the game. Shout out to Trey White, like still making plays at his old age after injuries and all of that. Like it was a huge moment, and I think it kind of boosted their team to where I wouldn't have had them beating the Broncos a week ago, but I think I would pick them today. I still don't think they're going to the Super Bowl, but I would pick them to beat the Broncos. Watch the Broncos fucking wipe the floor.
I know. I do think that's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game.
For the Jaguars, honestly, hats off to the Jaguars. Neither of us had them in the playoffs. Liam Cohen comes in, first-year coach. Trevor Lawrence's damn legacy career is on the line this season, and you know they're making desperate moves like trading up to get Travis Hunter, which I thought was a little desperate, but I get it. I'm big on Travis Hunter. You're also big on Travis Hunter, so I think it'll work out in the end. But they have a really good team. They've got a really good, solid quarterback. I think he's like top 15-ish in the league. We'll see what happens with Travis Etienne in the offseason and how they decide to work out their receiving core. But I think there's nothing to frown at in terms of how their season worked out. You were a top 3 seed. You won your division. I would say the only team you really got to worry about going forward, at least for next season, would be the Texans in your division. Yeah, I don't really the only thing that disappointed me with the Jaguars was their offense in the first half. Like I felt like they came out slow, and that was the offense that made me think the Jaguars were ass for half a season. So once they finally figured it out, this turned into a really good game. And I guess my only thing is like when you tush push someone, right? When you lift the quarterback off the ground, shouldn't the whistle blow? Like Josh Allen's feet was in the air for a good like 5 seconds, and I'm not saying that because he scored. I'm saying it just for like safety reasons and already having conversations about the tush push. Like if you're running that type of play that's already high contact, high speed, high energy, lifting a guy up in the air is pretty fucking dangerous. A quarterback at that.
I think Josh does it differently than other quarterbacks. So, like, I think Jalen Hurts is doing it to like get the first, and that's it. I think Josh is doing it to like
that's like
really
a
run through something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I feel like it should be a rule where like if a receiver gets lifted up off the ground, they blow the whistle immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So like in that sense, I feel like if any player is, unless you're getting pile drive in the middle of a tackle, if you're being lifted by whether it's your O lineman or D lineman, a whistle should be blown just for safety reasons. I think the Bills would have scored anyway, but that play was fucking insane. I've never quite seen a QB sneak or whatever the fuck they want to call it like that. And credit to Josh Allen. He's a little banged up still, but he's gonna play on Sunday. I think James Cook will be a little bit better. He had a pretty rough game, but the Jaguars defense is pretty damn good. Yeah. So I wasn't surprised by that. Khalil Shakir had a pretty good game. Dawson Knox had some big catches.
Kincaid had the touchdown.
What's your boy? Kincaid had a touchdown. Yeah, I mean they did what they had to do to win. And Sean McDermott lives another week.
Yes, sir. Yes, he do. And so yeah, the next game was the other NFC game was 49ers Eagles. 49ers, they go into Philly and they end the defending champion season. We will have a new Super Bowl champion. It is 23-19. Brock Purdy throws 2 touchdowns through 2 interceptions. Christian McCaffrey 15 carries, 48 yards. Demarcus Robinson 6 for 111 and 1. Christian McCaffrey 6 for 66 and 2. They lose George Kittle to a torn Achilles. Another massive blow for them. They're already down Fred Warner. They're already down Brandon Ayuk. They're already down Ricky Pierce.
They said Fred Warner practice window open. I was like, what?
Yeah. They don't have to worry about that.
He had an ACL injury, right?
No, he had like a broken ankle. It was
broken.
Yeah, his ankle was like on the turf. It was one of them. No, it was like a bad broken ankle. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like a dislocation. It was a bad joint. But like I
said,
both
was ACL.
Both was ACL. But they won't have to worry.
Be back if they made the Super Bowl. I think
like I said, they won't have to worry about that. They'll be in Cancun, buddy. He'll be on vacation. And so 23-19. My takeaways from this game, I think the Niners are a very good team, bro. Like Kyle Shanahan is a hell of a fucking
coach, bro.
He is a hell of a coach, boy. Oh my God.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Like I watched the Rams and the 49ers, and I'm like I know those are Matt LaFleur's boys. I'm like, damn, you just like you're not them, and that's fine, right?
Yeah.
But damn, can you get like some inspiration from them? Like you see them running through people every season, and we get there and we like done.
And they win games they're not supposed to win. Like, well, the Rams, but the Niners, they win games they're not supposed to win, bro. Like, which is what scares me about them playing Seattle. But like, they do win these games. They were winning games. He lost his quarterback halfway through the year. Ran the table with Mac Jones. Brock Purdy comes back. Don't miss a beat. George Kittle's out. Fucking Jake Tonges, fucking Nick Bosa's gone. They still decent defense. Fred Warner gone. Good defense. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Ricky Pierce gone.
They had a rookie. They had a rookie as their nickel corner in this game, and I don't know how many snaps he's gotten all season, but he looked pretty damn good that day.
Bro,
I think like Robert Saleh is gonna be a head coach again, bro.
He easily will, yeah.
He like somebody. I think my prediction would be he probably goes to Baltimore. That's what I would pick if I was Baltimore. Especially if you want to keep that kind of identity of being the Ravens and being hard nosed. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't know.
No, I was just gonna say that was all I had to say about the Niners. For I think that they're a good team, bro. Like overall, the Eagles, I don't know. I just felt like there were bad vibes all year. It felt off, and like we could say it was easy to say like, oh, the offense will figure it out. Like no one beats Eagles because like throughout the year the offense has not looked good. They only scored 19 points in this game. Jalen Hurts doesn't throw for 200 yards. Saquon was good. He had 26 for 106. AJ Brown forgot how to play receiver. His 7 targets, 3 catches, 25 yards. That's his last game in Philadelphia easily.
Absolutely.
And so like it just breaks down. And like throughout the season, I was saying like, yo, this offense is not where it's supposed to be. And everyone's like, well, they're winning games, 11-win team. Right. And it's like, okay, sure, they're winning, but when you're not winning and you need to win, like you're gonna lean on those things throughout the season. That's what you're supposed to perfect. Like it shouldn't just be, things aren't that good, but we're winning, so it's okay. Because when you need to win and you can't, those things come out. And I think that's what we saw here. Like the Eagles needed to turn it on that last drive. And I think last year in that game, you look at that last drive and you're like, I have faith that the Eagles score. I was watching that last drive thinking there's no fucking way they score because they haven't done this. Like this is not what happens for them. You look at that, even the game versus the Chargers, where we're like, oh, the Eagles, they're driving down the field, Jalen Hurts, pick, game over. Like that it just hasn't happened like that for them this year. So like, I think that they've got to go back to the drawing board. I saw the Hard Knocks clip where Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni are the last two in the room, and Jalen Hurts is like, we're gonna be back, and Nick Sirianni's like, no doubt about it, and then it cuts to black on some movie shit. Fucking losers. Like they are gonna be back. I think they're good, but like I do think some humbling needed to happen. Of like, okay,
yeah.
Like come on.
I felt like the Eagles to me are that classmate that you had that never studied for a test, but always got a fucking 90 on the test. Like when you in middle school and you got a vocabulary test coming up or math test coming up, and he'd be like, I don't study, bro, but you like, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, I got a 90, and I studied, I got a fucking 80.
Yeah.
They got away with mediocre offense and defense bailing them out for an entire season. Also terrible play calling. Kevin Patullo got packed up. Rightfully so. I think, and like this is just the truth. Like I don't want to seem like a hater, but I just don't think Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is limited as a quarterback, and there were reports coming out middle of the season where like he didn't want to. They were trying to expand the playbook, and there was just things that he didn't want to do that he wasn't comfortable doing, so they couldn't be as versatile as they wanted to be. On top of that, you didn't have a consistent run game to lean on because last year you had maybe the best damn run game of all time with Saquon behind that O-line and he not getting touched for like 6 yards. Now you got a banged up O-line and your number one receiver's kind of checked out because I feel like AJ Brown knows that they were on some bullshit this year. Like, and I think the reason him and Hurts are butting heads is because Jalen Hurts is like, well, bro, we're winning. And AJ Brown's like, yeah, we winning, but this is kind of bullshit. Like, they beat the Rams on 2 block kicks, 2 block field goals. They beat the Packers in Lambeau like 10-6 or 10-7 on some like nonsense. Like they got one big play from Saquon and one big play from Devonta Smith. They lose to teams like the Chargers. They lost to the Cowboys. They just limped all season. And, like I always call Eagle fans dramatic, but like they've got a gripe this year. Like the offense just hasn't, and we gave them the benefit of the doubt as well. Like we just thought like, hey, when it comes down to it, hey, they got Saquon, they got AJ Brown, they got Jalen Hurts, they'll figure it out. But they haven't been operating like that all season. And I think teams know that Jalen Hurts is a little limited. And I also think that all of the allegations they denied about there being turmoil in the locker room was absolutely false. Like, I think AJ Brown's done in Philly. I don't know what they're gonna do because I think if they trade him, that's like $40 million dead cap money or whatever. But they'll figure that out. And I do think they need a little restructure of the offense. Yeah, like bro, whoever comes in as OC, like there's got to be their O-line's getting a little bit older. Like they're not getting younger. Saquon's not getting any younger. And Jalen Hurts is who he is at this point in his career. Like he's not going to turn into Mike Vick tomorrow. Or by the beginning of next season, you know who he is. You've got to build an offense around him to fit his needs. or to fit his
Even
strengths.
even Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith is not some young. He's going to be 28 at the beginning of next season.
Yeah.
like he's not. It's a lot of like 28.
And they're the highest paid offense in football.
Yeah.
So like you have all this talent, and you've got. I mean, they have a track record of winning championships. I have no issue. I have no doubt that the Eagles will be back next year. Probably, Jeffrey Lurie and
Howie Rose
that crew and Howie Rose. They'll figure some shit out. But they did need humbling, because I felt like they were walking around as if like what they were doing. It's kind of like ethical hoops versus unethical hoops.
Yeah.
Like knowing what you're seeing is just not right, and they finally caught up to them. Their defense has been amazing all season for the most part, and it was pretty good in that game as well. I just think the offense finally reared its ugly head.
Yeah, I
hate both these teams, so I wasn't really rooting for anybody. I knew it would be a great game. I didn't really have a preference of who I wanted to see win.
Yeah, I think they'll end up trading AJ Brown to some AFC East team, either the Patriots or the Bills. I think are going to trade for AJ Brown. They'll get him out the conference, and they'll draft this is a good receiver class. Like there's Mekhi Lemon, there's Jordan Tyson, there's Carnell Tate, Denzel Boston, Casey Conception, Zachariah Brand. So like there's a lot of good guys that you can pair with Devonta Smith and be like, all right, Devonta, you're now the one. This guy, by the time you're ready to get up out of here, he will be 2-3 years in the league. We'll feel good about this. So like, I think that's kind of the route that they go. So that was that game. There was one more game, right? That wasn't the last. Oh, was there two more? Oh, there was two more. There was Chargers Pats. Yes. Chargers Patriots, where the Chargers don't score a single touchdown. And Drake May goes for 268 and 1. Ramondre is their leading receiver. It was kind of a nasty game.
Drake May was their leading rusher.
Yeah. Drake May was their leading rusher. It was a nasty game. To be honest, I didn't have too many takeaways from this game. I thought the Patriots were going to win. I guess like for me, I think we have to have the Justin Herbert conversation, because I've seen like a lot of people compare Justin Herbert to like Andrew Luck, whereas I feel like the way more apt comparison is Matt Stafford. Like, I think that there's differences in the careers, but like Matt Stafford had Megatron. Obviously, Justin Herbert has never had a wide receiver of that caliber. He's had like Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey in them. Stafford had a top 10 defense once in his 12 seasons in Detroit. Herbert's had one in the past 2 years alone. It's like differences there. But when you think about it, before Stafford came to the Rams, he was known as like this big arm, talented QB, could make every throw in the book. He had no playoff success. People think of Matt Stafford as this winner now, but like he didn't get his first playoff win until 2022. He got drafted in 2009. They both play in divisions where the two most talented QBs.
To be fair, Matt Stafford played for the fucking Lions.
He did. But like they both play in divisions with perhaps the two most talented QBs to ever play. Obviously, the NFC North was getting ran by Aaron Rodgers. The AFC West getting ran by Mahomes. I think like personally that Herbert has a lot to work through. I think he had a horrible game versus the Pats. I don't think it's time to write his career off as just this like total loser. 3 games in this playoff career. I think like it's easy to say these quarterbacks are losers until they're not, right? Like, and now Matt Stafford is probably a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got a Super Bowl. He might be on his way to a second one. He's probably going to win MVP. Like, and I just think we've got to give him a little bit more grace. Is he maximizing his potential on the Chargers? Absolutely not. I think that there's a lot more room, and he's not doing everything he can to win. But I do think that when everyone's like, Justin Herbert is this career loser, he doesn't do good enough, I think that we got to give him a little bit of slack. But other than that was my Justin Herbert take.
My Justin Herbert take is he's just not good when you need him to be. Granted, I'll give him a little bit of slack this year because they missing the majority of their O-line. They've got 2 of the best tackles in football. So going up against the Patriots, whose pass rush isn't great, but like those are all starting players and starting level players, and their defense is solid. But like I'm looking at his playoff stats. He's 0-3 with 4 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. All 4 of those interceptions came in one game, by the way, and has a completion percentage of under 55%. like yards per attempt 6.5. He's not like just hasn't been good. And we talked about it a little bit last week. His first playoff game, they blow a historic lead to the Jaguars. His second playoff game, he throws 4 interceptions to the Texans. And this one, I mean, not really. He doesn't throw a touchdown. Like their offense never gets anything going, and they fired their OC today. But like something's got to get. I'm not comparing him to damn Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was that guy. Like he was number 1 pick for a reason. But like I said earlier, like everybody can't be the Tom Brady and the Peyton Manning of their QB era. Like somebody's got to be Phillip Rivers. Somebody's got to be Ben Roethlisberger. Mm-hmm. Like maybe he's just a good quarterback that he may never win a Super Bowl, may never win an MVP. He might just be solid year in, year out, and then have these struggles when the playoffs come. Because honestly, the Chargers like roster is just a little bit flawed, and they've been banged up. Like injuries will catch up to you. I don't think Justin Herbert's a bad quarterback. I do think he's overrated. I think Justin Herbert is who people think Jordan Love is in terms of he's like he gets credit when he's clutch, and then when he plays bad, it's it depends on who. It's split down the middle. Like when he plays well, it's Justin Herbert's this guy that we knew he'd be, and these teams passed up on him, and then when he plays bad, it flips, and it's like, damn, Justin Herbert just not clutch. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing. I think him and Jordan Love are in the same QB class. It's kind of that same thing. Like I would take Love over Herbert, and I think Herbert, he's as talented as any QB in the league, not named Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. But at the same time, like it takes more than just being talented. So he needs to figure something out. He's not young, and the Chargers are trying to maximize some type of window that they have. Their roster's a little weird, but they have a decent coach, and they just need to figure out how to take advantage of these down years that may be coming from the Chiefs to try and get themselves into good playoff position. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point in that, like, hey, we play in an era now where there's just the talent at QB is just so high, and the floor is just so much higher than it was before that, like, we're expecting these Hall of Fame careers from all of these guys when that's just not going to be the case. Like you said, like someone's got to be the Big Ben. Someone's got to that only wins like a couple. Someone's got to be the Joe Flacco. Shit, you might get one. Yeah. You know, like somebody's got to be Carson Wentz, the Nick Foles. Like
somebody's got to be Carson Palmer, bro. Somebody's got to be like. Everybody can't be Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, bro.
Yeah. So, and when we right now we have like Lamar, who everyone's like he's got to get one. You know, Josh got to get one. Mahomes, he's gonna get more. Jalen Hurts, he might get another one. Joe Burrow, he got to get one. Herbert, he got to get one. It's like, yo, all these guys not gonna get one,
bro. Everybody in the top 12 is a conversation. They gotta get one. They gotta get one. Caleb gonna have to get one. Like, he may never get one, bro. Like. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers only has one. Drew Brees only has one. Peyton Manning has 2. Like this, and I think part of it is also we're spoiled by Tom Brady's greatness and also spoiled by Patrick Mahomes' early ascension. Like we watched most of the people that watch football now watch Tom Brady's entire career. And we watched him win early, struggle a little bit in the middle, and then win late. And then we watch Patrick Mahomes come in, win early, and this seems like to be the little struggling period, and then he'll probably get back to the Super Bowl at some point. Not guaranteed. But I've also watched Drew Brees, who was also on the Chargers, get traded to the Saints, win a Super Bowl, win an MVP, never make it back. Watch Aaron Rodgers sit behind another Hall of Fame quarterback, win a Super Bowl, win 4 MVPs, and never make it back to the Super Bowl. But you got Alex Smith Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl, Joe Flacco winning Super Bowls, Nick Foles winning Super Bowl MVPs. And in the middle of all of that, you have Tom Brady just dominating an entire era of football. So really 2 eras of football. So like, I think perception is not reality in this case because the greatness that we see, and the same thing happens with basketball. Like Just
Luka got to get one. Shea got to get one. Jokic got to get one. Ant got to get one.
Ant got to get one. Giannis got to get another one. Right. Like the talent is so high in the league. Like we want everybody to be Jordan. We want everybody to be like LeBron and Magic and Bird and Kobe. Like everybody can't be the top 5 guys. And like,
which is what makes the guys that can be that special.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's why like it's crazy to still watch LeBron at his age, Steph and KD, and even though James Harden doesn't have any chips, watching these guys at 36, 37, watching Matthew Stafford still play football is insane to me. He's almost 40 years old. Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old, slinging that bitch. Tom Brady when he was 45, still playing football. So like greatness is it's changed. Like the standard of greatness has changed, and it's a little unfair, but that's just the new reality that we live in. And I think people need to just understand to have patience with some guys and also understand that some guys are just going to be shit out of luck.
Yeah. Like even when we look at basketball, like, yo, bro, Allen Iverson never got one. All-time great. I was just thinking
Chris Paul never got one.
Paul never got one. Melo never got one. Harden and Westbrook, MVPs, never got one. It's like, hey, it just is what it is.
Jerry West never got one.
Like
and
Harden,
made the finals a million times.
Made the finals a million times. Harden was one of the best offensive players the game has ever seen. Never got one. Like,
bro,
it's what it is.
There are like 10 Hall of Famers that played between like 1990 and 2010 that just never won.
Because you in an era with that
because
nigga.
you're in an era with Jordan, Kobe, Duncan, and LeBron.
Yeah.
So like the Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Allen Iverson. I mean, Kevin Garnett got his one. Dirk got his one. But you trying to swim around Shaq, Kobe, Duncan, D-Wade got his one, and then here comes LeBron, and then here comes Steph. Like it's tough, man. Everybody can't be that guy.
Yeah,
it's like everybody trying to be an entrepreneur. Everybody can't be a boss, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, you gotta be okay with just being okay sometimes. You know, like not everybody
can be okay with being a beta, bro. Everybody can't be that.
Everybody can't be great. And the last game in the wild card was Texans Steelers, an absolute fucking stinker. The Texans defense absolutely destroys Aaron Rodgers in his last game. Do you think this is it for Aaron Rodgers? For me personally, I think it's it in terms of like him as a starting QB. I do think that his last pass ever being a pick 6 for someone who is historically known as the greatest quarterback to like not really ever throw picks will sit with him. So like I would not be shocked if he came back. If we look at a team like the Vikings, like if Kevin O'Connell
I was about to say, I think he might be a Viking next year.
If Kevin O'Connell's like, yo, bro, you don't even got to play. Just come here, help JJ help him learn, help him grow. And like, hey, if we're blowing the team out one game, by the end of the season, I promise you, I will let you throw a fade to Justin Jefferson. And your last pass will not be a pick 6, brother. But I think this is it as like the starting quarterback that we knew Aaron Rodgers to be.
Knowing how he is, I don't think it's his last year. I think he wants to go out on a more memorable note than the one he went out on. Like signing with the Steelers was already like a last hurrah. And I think he went there because Tomlin was there. Like a lot of those guys that are on that team were there because Tomlin was the coach. Like Jalen Ramsey got traded there and was excited to be there because Tomlin. They had Adam Thielen on the team who just retired. Like honestly, a lot of vets. I just can't see him going out like that. He's a prideful guy. He's a competitor. He's kind of insane. Like, I could definitely see him on the Vikings next year. I could see him. He's not going back to New York. I was about to say Giants, but nah, he's not. I don't think he wants to go back to New York. I could see him finding a team though that he wouldn't be a backup. Let's be honest. If he came in and the team was like, hey, we want you to be a backup, I don't think he would accept that role. He definitely want to start. Because honestly, if he had the Vikings receiving core, they would win like 11 games. He was throwing to DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, Adam Thielen, Marquez Valdez, Scantling, and
Gainwell.
Kenneth Gainwell, and I think Arthur Smith is a terrible OC. Every time he goes to a new team, he brings Jonnu Smith with him. Like Jonnu Smith is fucking Rob Gronkowski. It's like, bro, you got Pat Fryermuth, but you horny for Jonnu Smith. Like you got rock hard for Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith is just a guy, bro. He goes to Atlanta. Here comes Jonnu, or no. He was in Tennessee. They draft Jonnu Smith. Atlanta hires him as head coach. Here comes Jonnu Smith. Then they fire him. And I think Jonnu Smith had a good year in Miami. And then Arthur Smith goes to Pittsburgh. Here comes Jonnu Smith. Like, why is Jonnu Smith the guy that you need to run your offense, bro? I don't understand. Someone please help me. I don't get it. I just think the Steelers were poorly constructed. Like, I understand going for it all when you got a quarterback that's 42 years old or 41 years old. But it kind of blew up in their face. They trade for Jalen Ramsey. They try to take advantage of this TJ Watt window that they have. They go and trade George Pickens and then go get DK Metcalf and extend him. Like you trade a younger crash out for an older crash out that's more expensive. It just didn't work. And they were pretty desperate. Honestly, credit to Mike Tomlin for stepping down because the writing was pretty much on the wall. If they didn't win that game versus the Ravens, he was probably getting fired that day. I think Aaron Rodgers plays one more year, bro. I think he wants to at least like, hey man, come back to the NFC, dog.
I think it's a risk though. Like this isn't a decent way to go out. I mean, this isn't a bad way to go. Like there's worse ways to go out. Like you won your division, like you made the playoffs.
Try to do it again and then get hurt again.
That's the only because then it's like, fuck, now I'm definitely not coming back. And this is how I'm remembered. Like, at least you get to be remembered. Like, you won a division as a 42-year-old man in a division with Lamar, Burrow, and goddamn Shador Sanders. So, like, I think that, like, you can go out with your head held high of, like, yeah, we ran into the Texans and DeMeco Ryans, damn near the best defense in the league, and we lost. But, like, he achieved expectations.
They overachieved. Yeah, very much.
Like if he went out off this, if his last pass wasn't a pick six, I swear to God, I don't think he would come back.
Oh yeah, he'd be straight.
But like, I do think that shit gonna sit with him, specifically him. Like, I can't let that be my last shit.
You know what? Like, what if the Colts were like, hey, can you come like play for us for a year? Like, we don't know what's happening with Daniel Jones. They probably
AR and DJ and Rodgers.
I mean, they're not gonna give AR another shot, bro. I want them to, but like they kind of gave up on him, and I'm not gonna say rightfully so, but like they don't like that, man. They hate that kid,
yeah.
Be honest with you, like Justin Fields got more shots than AR, and AR started 16, 17 games in his career. I'm trying to think of like another team that might like that's still competitive that.
I mean, he's not going back to competitive. I mean, if we just none of the playoff teams now are looking for quarterbacks. None of the
the teams that missed aren't looking for quarterbacks either.
Like most are good unless it's like the Dolphins or like the Jets. He's not going back there. The Cardinals. He's not going to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
To get rattled by the Seahawks and the Rams and the Niners. He's not going there.
I can see him.
I don't really know. I think it really is the Vikings. Like the Vikings are a team.
He'd be a hoe for that though.
Yeah. But that's some Favre shit,
Some Favre shit. Yeah. Michael running his ass down.
Yeah.
You don't want that, bro. 2 times a year? I don't know if you really want to run away from Aiden Hutchinson and Michael Parsons 4 times a year?
No.
Tough.
And so, now we can dive into our thoughts on the divisional round. So we're going to go through real quick, give our divisional round winners and losers, and then we'll go back and kind of break down each game and give our thoughts. So NFL divisional round, we're going to give our picks starting with Bills, Broncos. For me, this is very simple. I'm always going to choose Josh Allen unless the player on the other side of it is Patrick Mahomes. I do not fear Bo Nix. I do not fear Pat Surtain. I do not fear Sean Payton. I think he did it last year. Granted, it was not in Denver, but he's going to walk into Denver and walk down the Broncos to advance to the AFC Championship game. Who you got?
Haley Seinfeld better watch out because she got some competition for Josh. Because you are, my God. I'm also taking the Bills. It's simply because I trust Josh Allen more than I trust Bo Nix. I do think the Broncos have a better team on paper, and they are playing at home, which is it's tough to beat them at home. They've only lost one game all year, but at the same time, I could absolutely see the Broncos implode as a team that has a 1 seed, and I think they've kind of gotten away without like having to really truly prove something. I think they don't have enough to kind of hold off the Bills' offense in terms of keeping Josh Allen off the field. Like the Broncos, since J.K. Dobbins got hurt, the Broncos haven't been able to run the ball consistently. So that's the way you keep Josh Allen off the field. I don't know if they'll be able to do that. So I'm gonna pick the Bills in a pretty close game. I say it's probably a 3 to 6 point game. Comes down to the wire, and in that situation, I'm taking Josh Allen all the time.
Hell yeah. Next up, we got Houston, the Texans versus the Pats. This is a tough one for me because I do think that Drake May struggled a little bit with the Chargers defense, and the Texans defense is a whole nother beast. But I usually tend to go with the better quarterback when the matchup is close. And so I'm going to go with Drake May, and the Patriots, but I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all. Stephon Diggs' revenge game. I would not be shocked at all if the Texans win based on the back of that defense. But who you got?
I'm also taking the Pats. Like you said, Stephon Diggs' revenge game. I do think the Texans are sneaky, but what was alarming to me last week was CJ Stroud played terrible. Like he fumbled 3 times. I don't remember if he threw an interception or not, but he just didn't play well. And Nico Collins has a concussion. Not sure if he'll play. So I mean, that's a big loss for their offense if he doesn't play. And they're also another team that can't run the ball consistently. So I'm taking the Pats at home. Drake May, Mike Vrabel. I think it'll be an interesting matchup, but I think the Patriots are clearly a better team.
Moving to the NFC, we've got Bears, Rams. This might be the best matchup on the slate for me, to be honest. My gut says Bears. For whatever reason, I don't know. I just feel like it's tough to put them down, but I do think the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL. I do think the Rams have the quarterback advantage. The Rams have the overall team advantage. I think that Bears offense stalls out a little bit too much for my liking. And I think we've seen the Rams win in a bunch of different ways. So I am going to take the Rams to go to the NFC Chip. Who you got?
I'm also taking the Rams. They are better at every asset of football, defense, offense, all 3 levels. Like I don't think there's any advantage that the Bears have over the Rams, maybe outside of offensive line, but the Rams have a pretty damn good D-line. So I'm taking Matthew Stafford. And I think like the Bears are so used to winning one way, which is just, when you're down that big all the time and you have no pressure, it's kind of easy to build momentum and come back and make these amazing comebacks. I want to see how they play when the pressure's on them and, they have to go back and forth and match the Rams because the Rams can score in 2 minutes. So can the Bears respond? They are at home. The building's going to be going crazy.
It's going to be cold as shit.
That don't matter, bro.
Yeah.
That don't matter. Devontae's played in Green Bay. Matthew Stafford's played in Detroit. They'll be all right. I just think that like the Bears struggled with Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Romeo Doubs. What the hell are you going to do against Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams? GG's. It's been a great season for the Bears, but I think this is their last hurrah. I think they got away with murder last week. So I'm taking the Rams.
And then the last game, my Super Bowl, we got Seahawks 49ers in Lumen Field in Seattle coming off the bye. Me personally, never a doubt I'm going to ride with us no matter who's in front of us. I'm taking the Seahawks. We just beat this team 2 weeks ago. We should have beat them in week 1, but then Tariq Woolen forgot how to play cornerback. But we physically dominated these boys 2 weeks ago. And they're even less healthy than they were then. Like granted, they should have Trent Williams back, but we should be relatively healthy now. We should have Charles Cross back. We should have Kobe Bryant back. A week of rest. Listen, man, the Niners are my Bears. Like the way that you talk shit about them, fuck the Niners. Diamador Lenore, we're packing that boy. I cannot wait to beat them again and end their fucking season. So I am taking the Seattle Seahawks to advance to the NFC Championship game. Who you got?
What you gonna do if y'all lose?
I can't say it on the pod.
Oh,
I was about to say it, but I can't say it on the pod.
Yeah, you're nuts. As badly as I want to pick the Niners, I'm taking the Seahawks. It's hard to win in that building. I think the Seahawks are just flat out better. The theme of this episode has been injuries eventually catch up to you. And I think the 49ers have done a great job of covering up their flaws and all their issues they've had all season. Trent Williams being back will help. But I think the Seahawks have something to prove. I think people are still counting them out because Sam Darnold is their quarterback. So I feel like they should come in this game with a bit of an edge versus a division rival at home. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them, but I think they'll win convincingly at the end just because they've shown that they can dominate this team before. So I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, and we can just stay on that game for a minute. People like to say like, "Oh, Brock Purdy 6-2 versus Seahawks," and I think that's a useless fucking stat because, of course, yes, he's 6-2 versus the Seahawks as a whole, at the team brand logo, whatever the fuck, versus Mike McDonald Seahawks, he's 2-2. And so I don't really give a fuck about that record. He's 2-2 with 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So he don't put no fear in my heart. So I'm cool to see them, Demarcus Robinson, Ricky Pearsall, go Gators. You can play or not play. I don't give a fuck. And so Diamador Lenore, oh my God, he talks so much shit for a corner that is not that good. He's posting on Instagram about JSN. We're talking about the fucking offensive player of the year receiving leader in the NFL, Jackson Smith-Njigba is who we're talking about. He's telling Ken Walker oh, I can't wait to lay your cone head ass out. And what did Ken Walker do when he saw him? Get the fuck down. Okay? And I don't know if you saw, but after Ken Walker's first down celebration was Conehead, first down. Fuck is you talking about? Come on, give me the Niners. Oh my God, I want them down so bad. But yeah, that's how I feel about that game. I don't even got shit to say other than the Sam Darnold shit. People like to say the Seahawks are not contending. We don't know. The Seahawks haven't showed us. They haven't showed us yet. We won 14 fucking games. We won the NFC West, toughest division of football, and you're telling me that you don't know yet because Sam Darnold had a couple bad games. Man, get the fuck out of
here. Hey, weirder things have happened, bro. Last year we watched.
I agree.
The Lions. We watched the Lions completely implode at home. We watched. I've watched 1C Packers teams absolutely lose their minds and decide they forgot how to play football. Shit happens, bro.
I agree. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost. I would not be shocked, but I would be so hurt. But I don't think that we're gonna.
For me, it's picking a team is always okay. What's the path to them winning? What's the way you envision the 49ers winning? And I just the last time y'all played. Sam Darnold didn't play great, but he didn't need to. Y'all ran all over them. And I think the formula doesn't change because Saquon has success against them last week. You don't really need JSN. You can throw 15 passes, 20 passes, and JSN could still get you 70, 80 yards and a tutty. So, if y'all do establish the run and JSN gets his, or it might be AJ Barner. It don't even really matter. They don't have the bodies to uphold, and Robert Saleh's done a great job, but at some point it's gonna catch up with you.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. And when you brought up the Commanders Lions thing, that's how I feel about the Bears for whatever reason. Everyone was oh, the Lions are the best team in the NFC, and then the Commanders came in there and walked them down. They walked them down.
They kind of are this year's Commanders.
That's why I'm feeling damn, what if a year after Jaden did it, what if Caleb, and granted, it's not in Detroit, this is in the Bears are the home team, but what if they went in there and beat the Rams? I would not be super shocked.
Caleb to me, he's such a conundrum as a quarterback because you'll watch it. I literally watched him make that 4th and 8 throw, and I was like, damn. 2 plays later, 2nd and 3. He had, I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was. Somebody wide open in the flat, threw it at their feet. Wide open, no pressure. He just threw it at their feet. So I think that next step for Caleb is just being more consistent. Mm-hmm. And that's when he might get a little scary. If he comes back next year and he's just more consistent down to down, now we got a real problem.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna be the guy that people expected him to be when he was the first pick.
And the thing is, Caleb, for all of his flaws, the reason that he was the number one pick is because he might not make that throw on 4th and 8 10 times. Like if he attempts that throw 100 times, he might only make it 10. But like other quarterbacks are making it none or twice. Never. So like the fact that that's in his bag alone is the reason why he was the number one pick.
Let me see. I gotta count on my fingers, make sure.
Mahomes, Josh,
Aaron, prime Aaron,
yeah,
and Caleb. That's about it, bro.
I don't know if Burrow making that throw. I don't know if Marr making that throw.
But it's not also the throw. It's the escape.
Yeah.
Like Burrow doesn't have that athleticism, and Lamar just doesn't have that type of touch.
Like, Lamar's just not throwing that. Yeah, Lamar's not throwing that.
And he doesn't have the balls to throw that either.
Yeah. Lamar's not throwing that.
I like right now, I think Love's a better quarterback than him. Have I seen Jordan Love make some insane throws? Absolutely. Jordan Love is not jump throwing.
No.
Scrambling up to his left. He just can't do that. He's just not able to do that. So his ceiling is still so wildly high, but his floor can get so damn low to the point where it's like, what the hell are you doing? And I just can't trust that week to week. I don't know how we got to the Rams Bears, but I mean, like, I think the Rams, it is between y'all and the whoever comes out of the NFC is winning the Super Bowl.
Cam Ward might make that though.
Nah, he's more like Jordan Love to me. I compared him to Jordan Love coming out of the draft. He's made some nutty throws. He has. He's a good athlete, but like Caleb is a fucking excellent at. Like he doesn't look like it, but as soon as he starts scrambling out and evading sacks, it's like, whoa, shit, yeah. Like Cam Ward just don't have the same wiggle and like it's not Lamar Vic level, but it's like a tier down to where it's just enough for you to be dangerous and still have an elite arm and accuracy that a lot of guys don't have. I also wonder, like, this is random, but I also wonder, like, because I don't know if he gets enough credit because, I mean, he's before our time, but guys like Steve Young and
I don't know if I watched the full Steve Young game in my life.
Never. I mean, we were too young. We were too young. Like we weren't even born for the majority of his career. But like guys before we started watching, like Randall Cunningham and Steve Young, like guys like that. I always wonder, like, what did people think of them back then? Like you watch Randall Cunningham and Steve Young be dual threat quarterbacks, and then you get like an extreme version of that with Michael Vick, who like wasn't the most accurate guy in Atlanta, but he was such an insane athlete that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you get a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who like is kind of more like Steve Young. Like he's not a super athlete, but he's fast enough to make shit happen.
Yeah.
It's weird to like figure out the balance of quarterback that you need to really be like one of one type of guy. And I truly think that like guys like Tom Brady and Dan Marino and Peyton Manning are outliers because them dudes are in the pocket. For 10 seconds. Like they can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's
statues.
And we've reached a point where like you can't be a pocket quarterback anymore. Everybody that's coming out of college now has got some legs on them.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to make something happen.
Yeah. Totally agree with you. The other two, I don't really have anything crazy to say. Like, I think Texans, New England is going to be a nasty one. Like, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, like a 17-10, 17-13 kind of game. I think Stephon Diggs has a good game. I think he's setting up for back-to-back revenge games. And that beating the Bills to go to the Super Bowl for Stephon Diggs would be crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like that would be also Josh beating Stephon Diggs to go to the Super Bowl with like Khalil Shakir and them. Also a tough one.
I think it would mean. I think it would mean more for Stephon than it would for Josh.
Yeah,
because Stephon got so much hate and criticism in big games where he just didn't play well, didn't show up.
Dropped that ball versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, like where they absolutely needed him. Yeah. And he left in like a weird way, got traded, not out of nowhere, but like, you know, he's an emotional guy and sometimes he says things that like aren't completely accurate. So I mean it's all like him and Josh don't hate each other. They're cool, like they give each other credit. But it's unfortunate it didn't work out because Stephon was one of the more talented guys in the league at his peak, and Josh is the best quarterback in the league right now. I don't have much to say about these games either. I just think I want to see more from CJ, but I think I'm realizing I don't know. I don't know how, like, CJ Stroud, is he not that good? Like, is he just average?
He's just average. Yeah.
Is he?
I
Like,
think he had a great
CJ
rookie year, and then
Yeah, he did. Would you take CJ Stroud over Trevor Lawrence?
No.
Would you take CJ Stroud over Daniel Jones? This year's version of Daniel Jones, would you take him over Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I would take him over Daniel Jones. I would take him over Daniel Jones. Even like fully healthy DJ, I'm taking CJ Stroud.
Jalen Hurts.
No, I wouldn't take him. I would take Hurts.
You take Hurts. Jordan Love.
I'm taking Love easy.
Tua.
I would take Stroud because CJ Stroud can at least win me a playoff game. So that's more than I can say about Tua. So I'm gonna, and I just think the floor is lower. Like, granted, like CJ, he might implode, but like his implosions and Tua implosions are very different. So, I'm still taking CJ Stroud.
Trying to think of one more. Cam Ward, your boy. Cam Ward or CJ Stroud?
I would take if you put Cam on the Texans, I think that offense might look a little better. I'm not gonna lie. I might take Cam Ward.
I don't know about that, bro. Their O-line is dookie.
I know. I might take Cam Ward though. Let's say fuck it. Yeah, I'm taking Cam Ward.
I think Cam's floor is higher, but I think his ceiling's higher, but I think Stroud's floor is higher.
Yeah, I might take Tyler Shuck over CJ Stroud. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you're wild. Let's wait. You got Tyler Show playing fucking meaningless games at the end of December.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not putting no stock in that. He's gonna have to show me something next year.
That's fair. And then Buffalo, Denver. For me, like, I just think that James Cook should run the ball better in this game. I think that for me, bro, the Broncos, they just haven't. I just don't really believe. Like, I've just never really believed. I think they had a cupcakey schedule. They had a couple good wins. I think the win in Philly was a good win. They only had to score 21 points to do it. I think the win versus Houston, that's a good win. They only had scored 18 points to do it. I think the win against Green Bay was good. They scored 34. That's a nice, respectable game. And then I think that was the last good game they won. Like, I don't think the Chargers were that good of a team. They beat the Chargers 19-3. Okay, cool. You lost to Jacksonville, the same Jacksonville that Josh Allen just walked down. So I do think that like they're a little bit fluky. I think Bo Nix is a little bit fluky. And granted, I say this and I felt like this, and then they'll go and score 30 points when they need to.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know. It's crazy, but I'm just gonna ride with Josh.
Yeah. The Broncos are a very high variance team, kind of like the Bears, to where like one game they look like one of the best teams in the league, and the next game they just look like exactly what you would expect before they have this explosion. So like Bo Nix is very up and down. Their receiving core is also very inconsistent. I like Cortland Sutton, I like Troy Franklin. I think RJ Harvey's a decent running back. I still have questions about him because honestly, like, he hasn't been better than J.K. Dobbins. That defense, as talented as they are, that pass rush is ridiculous. Pat Surtain is who he is, and they still give up points. Like, they've given up 30 a few times this year. They've given up 25 a good amount of times this year. So I mean, if you let Josh Allen get loose, who knows what happens, bro? This game could be a shootout. Like, I don't trust the Bills defense to hold up just like last week. So it's going to be interesting to see how the big moments in this game play out. Yeah.
And then the last thing before we head up out of here, because we're trying to keep these new episodes of the new year at 130, 140. So we're at like 134 now. So this should be the last thing before we get up out of here. We wanted to rank the top 5 open head coaching jobs, since like 30% of the league needs a head coach. So I guess we can just run through the top 5. For me, at 5, I went Titans. Because I do think that you have some sort of good player base here. You know, like you've got a Jeffrey Simmons, you've got a QB, you've got Cam Ward. He's the guy. That's better than you can say for a lot of franchises. So, like, I do think that buys you some good grace. And you should have a decent amount of cap space. So, Titans 5. Hot take. I have the Raiders 4. You got the number 1 pick. So basically, let's say you have Fernando Mendoza, you have Max Crosby, you have a good like follower base. You should have a decent amount of money to go out and build a team. You know, you have nothing at receiver, but like building an offense with a big 3 of Fernando Mendoza, Ashton Jeanty, and Brock Bowers is pretty good. Like, if I'm a coach, I'm not like, like I'd rather that than the Steelers. You know, like I'd rather take that than walk into Mason Rudolph, Kenneth Gainwell, and Jalen Warren and DK Metcalf. I'd rather take that than the Browns. I'd rather that than the Titans, you know? So like that's why I have them there. Number 3, I have the Falcons. I think that is a bunch of good pieces on offense. You have Drake London. I do think you got to figure out quarterback, but let's say you got Michael Penix. At the very least, Kirk Cousins can win you some games. You got Michael Penix, you got Kirk Cousins, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Drake London. You might have Kyle Pitts, maybe or maybe not. You got Tyler Algier, maybe or maybe not. You have a pretty good offensive line, and like you can build around that. You got AJ Terrell on defense. You got some pieces to go and build around the division.
They've got a pretty damn good defense.
Like a good ass pass. Yeah, the division isn't too crazy to step into, you know? Like, I think that's a good job. 2, I have the Giants. Great market. They have a bunch of pieces. Obviously, Malik Neighbors coming off the torn ACL. They have a top 10 pick. You've got Jackson Dart, who looks like the guy there. You've got Brian Burns on defense, Dexter Lawrence on defense, Cam Scatterbo in the backfield, Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. And like they have a good foundational core to build around. I think their coach will probably end up being John Harbaugh, and like he will go in there and set the culture. And I do think the Giants will be relatively good next year. And then number 1, I think the best opening is the Ravens, simply because you have a top 5 quarterback, and when you have one of those, you're automatically in contention to compete for a Super Bowl. So Lamar Jackson alone is making me take the job if it's offered to me, and then you can figure out the rest of it. And so, yeah, what's your top 5?
I can't believe you put the Raiders that high. That's crazy to me. I want no parts of the Raiders, bro. Like Fernando Mendoza next year, if he ends up being a Raider, is probably going to be this year's version of whatever Cam Ward's going through. Like you don't fix whatever the hell that is in 1 year.
I mean, that QB class is a dog shit, especially Dante Moore going back to Oregon. Yeah, that is ass.
Well, he is going back to Oregon.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's just Mendoza and like Ty Simpson, who might not even go to the draft because Miami is reportedly offering him $6 million.
Shit, I'd go to Miami. There'd be a jet. I'm going to Miami, bro. Also, before I say my top 5, why haven't the Jets fired Aaron Glenn yet?
Because they're the Jets.
True. Having a tough time picking my 5, but I'll just do my number 5. I'll go with this is gonna be a tough. So I'll go with the Titans as my number 5. I think Cam Ward is a good place to start if you want to start building a franchise. I think they've got a lot of work to do. They need receivers badly. I think their O-line is decent, but they've got an older running back in Tony Pollard, and I don't think they'll keep him. They'll probably draft a running back. So if they do well in the draft and you establish some type of culture there, like they can be a decent team in a division where there's not really a hierarchy. You got different teams winning a division every year. You don't know what the Colts are. The Texans seem to be the most consistent in the division, and the Jaguars finally made some type of ascension, but you can make some noise in any random year. Number 4 for me, this is going to be a tough sell because the division they play in is just ridiculous. But I'm only saying this because I think whatever coach comes in is going to figure out the quarterback situation pretty quickly. I'm going to put the Cardinals number 4 because I think as long as you figure out who your quarterback's going to be.
You saying like that for your mans who listen to the pod. Yeah, shout out to bro.
No, I'm not. I think I think you have like the Cardinals have a bunch of players that people don't really know about. Like they've got good players, they just don't have good coaching. Like Jonathan Gannon is a terrible coach, but you have Trey Benson, you have Marvin Harrison Jr. Michael Wilson had a fucking breakout year out of nowhere. Trey McBride is damn near the best tight end in the league. On defense, they have a bunch of respectable young players. I think they've drafted well. I just think you've got like you're losing 12, 13 games a year. What the hell are you gonna tell me in the locker room? Yeah. So they need a guy to come in. Like, bro, we've lost 10 straight games, and you want to come in the locker room talking about let's just fight. Like, come on, like let's just finish out the season strong. I want to go home, dog.
Yeah.
So I think the Cardinals are a better destination than people are realizing, and I think that if they figure out their quarterback situation, and I think that the true path to that is maybe finding some gap quarterback, like a free agent quarterback. Like if they want to go try Malik Willis for a couple of years, they can do that, and then he'll fill right in, find the right OC or the right head coach that's an offensive mind, and they might be okay. I think they just want to be competitive. That's the goal for them. Like eventually the 49ers are not going to be the 49ers anymore. They're one of the oldest teams in the league, at least on offense. And the same thing with the Rams. Like Matthew Stafford's not going to be there forever. So if they figure something out where they can kind of sneak in and like maybe be a wild card one year, it might work out. Number 3 for me, I have the Giants. I think the sell for that is the offensive firepower that you could have. You have Jackson Dart, who's kind of stupid as a quarterback, but if he learns how to slide, he'll be okay. Malik Neighbors, hopefully he comes back fully healthy. He fully healthy is one of the best wide receivers in football. Cam Scatterboo, even though he's fucking hard-headed, you'll still have him for the next 3-4 years. And Tyrone Tracy's not a bad back. I think their O-line is decent. I think they need to work on everything on their defense outside of pass rush. They need better linebackers. They need better secondary players. And they can figure that out as they go. But if they, like, say they go hire Jeff Hafley, perfect. Go hire Jeff Hafley, figure out the defense, and then find your OC. Number 2 for me, this is rough. I'm just going to say the Falcons. I almost had the Falcons number 1. But I'll say the Falcons are 2 just because you don't know who your quarterback's going to be. Michael Penix coming off 2 knee surgeries, or 38-year-old Kirk Cousins. They have the pieces to be a decent team. They have all the talent in the damn world. And this is why Raheem Morris got fired. So if they find the right coach, people are saying like, oh, if Matt LaFleur gets fired, he'd go right to Atlanta. Maybe, but I don't think he's getting fired. But there's plenty, like if John Harbaugh ends up being the Falcons coach, sure. Or Mike Tomlin wants to go be the Falcons coach. Sure. That's a new culture. That's something they've never had. Go ahead. I think a black coach in Atlanta is fucking fire. So go ahead, knock yourself out. And number 1, just like you, the Baltimore Ravens are my number 1. You have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, fucking insanely talented team with a bad DC and a bad OC. And I think they just need a culture uplift, like a facelift and a restructure of their culture. Yeah, not their identity, just of who they are right now. Like right now, they're just the talented team that always falls short. And I think they just need to be like nobody's scared of the Ravens anymore. When we were growing up, everybody was scared to play the fucking Ravens because you got Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs coming at you. Now it's just like, yeah, well, they got Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith, but I mean, they have no pass rush, which they don't. So I mean, they need some pass rush. They probably need another receiver. That DeAndre Hopkins shit is not gonna work. They need
Rashad Bateman shit ain't gonna work.
Rashad Bateman, the Isaiah Likely, that's not gonna work. You need somebody else other than Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews.
Other than 5'10" Zay Flowers,
right, exactly. And I think if they I think they need to hire a defensive coach. So I think I said earlier, Robert Saleh might be a great choice for them. And I think honestly would be a perfect fit just for the type of guy he is and the type of culture he tried to set in New York. It's just that it's the fucking Jets. But I think Baltimore would be a perfect spot for him.
Yeah. Until boom. 145 on the dot almost.
Damn.
We're going to head up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Run It Up podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the pod everywhere that podcasts are found. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Everything's in the description. Most of our handles are just at Run It Up Pod or at the Run It Up podcast. But again, it's in the description. You can find me on Twitter at Najee Adams _ Jalaal on Instagram at jace.sandy _ I hope you guys have a litty day, a litty night, a litty life. And just like we do on every episode of this podcast, make sure y'all go run it up.